Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at another indoor flyer, this time from Makerfire. This is the Micro FPV. It's a 64mm hooped indoor quadcopter, and we've seen this style before. Matter of fact, we've seen that Chris over at 100% Epic, I think, was one of the first to fashion these molds. Makerfire has taken some of the best mods, I think, and put them in a box. And speaking of the box, it comes as a nice little carrying case. You've got slots for your batteries, your vehicle right in there, a nice thick cardboard box. So if you're interested in getting a good quality box with your product, little bonus. This product from GearBest is currently $63.99. Prices go up and down. And we see we have a Craze Pony or Crazy Pony. Let me know in the comments, is that Crazy or Craze Pony? Anyways, we've got a battery, a 200 mAh battery in there. We've seen this form factor a number of times. They do have the battery lead coming out the front of the vehicle, so you'll mount your battery in like that. And we see that they've used the foam cage in order to secure the battery, keep it from rattling around. And this frame looks a lot like the original Eachine E010. We've got flat struts in the bottom. They're flat on top. The Furry Bee one was angled and tilted. They were T-shaped as well. And we see we've got the camera right there on the front. It says VM275T. We know that to be the CM275T from Banggood, and CM25, I believe, from GearBest. And then RCX also sells their version. I think just about everybody has a version of this camera, and we have the ability to do some switches for our different channels. I think let's start right off the bat. We're going to take the lens cap off. Let's get a weight for this guy, because when we add the foam, we add the molding, what is it going to weigh? We want to keep it as close to 20 ounces as we can. So 21.6, pretty good, pretty good. I think that tiny little camera helps to offset some of that additional weight we've got in there. I think the next thing we need to do is take the canopy off, take a closer look at the board, bind it up, do some line of sight flying. I'm going to get this battery charging. Okay, you can see here that we have a connector, and they've used silicone wire on both ends, so that's all good. Appreciate that. You can see we've got a board here, and we've got our USB port right here, which I appreciate that location. And it looks like the bottom of the board, that might be either a boot button or a bind button. Can you see that right down in there? Right down in there. So we'll have to sort that out. I suspect because of its location that's a boot button, because it's down here. I don't think that's a bind button. Oddly enough, here, I'm going to take this next screw out. I don't see an antenna for a receiver off of this. Maybe it is on the bottom as well. There it is. So there's the antenna. Pretty short. I kind of think that should be coming out the top. Well, we'll leave it as it is for now. If there's any issues, we might make some adjustments later, but for now, we'll keep it stock. Okay. I'm going to get my cable out and plug it in. I use the Devo 7 to fly a lot of indoor flyers. Very flexible radio. It is range limited, but I really haven't had an issue with that because I don't fly a long ways away. Okay, we can see, get some lights down there. We got a blue and red flashing light right down in there. So status and activity is good. Probably need a right angle adapter to calibrate the accelerometer, don't we? I think I have one around here somewhere. But for right now, let's see if we can bind this up. Doing a quick peek here, looking at Betaflight. It is pre-flashed with Betaflight. Has the SP Racing Evo Target 301 from October 18th on it. So on my Devo, I am going to select a new model. Let's see, let's go down to where it says none. Normally we would change that name, but I'll do that later. Pick an icon that looks a little bit like our vehicle. There we go. Not a heli, it's multi. Let's go down here, we'll select the DSMX. We'll see if we can bind to that. I was able to get mine bound all up, and there seems to be some varying information. Everything from the Craze Pony, which seems to be the manufacturer of this, even though it comes under the Makerfire brand, Crazy Pony or Craze Pony. On their website, they talk about how the first edition may not be compatible with all Spectrum radios, so there might be an issue there. But they have that oddly enough crossed out on their website, like a strike through. So I'm not sure which version this was, but it says it's DSM-2, but I was only able to get it to bind on DSM-X, and I'll show you that here.
I have to pause the video here. While I was able to get the DSM-X bound up to the vehicle, I found that while I watched the values change when I moved the sticks, that the value changes were very choppy, and it was essentially unflyable. I tried a couple of different times. I ended up coming back to the desk, and I bound it that time successfully via DSM-2. And the stick inputs and the value changes through Betaflight were much smoother, and this is the results of the flights that are going to be seen here coming up.
I'm bound via DSM-X, and so I put the canopy back on, and to bind it you press the bind button that's down in there, and then you plug in your USB or plug in a battery. You'll get a blue light down here, kind of a light blue, and it'll be blinking real fast. When you hit your bind on whatever your radio does for binding, that will slow down to kind of a flash, and then it'll go off, and then it'll come back on. Now again, the website for this says that it will stay on solid. I found that mine just flashes slowly. Now does that indicate something's wrong? I don't know, but we're going to go find out. Let's get that battery. Let's go line of sight test it. Okay, we got the Makerfire here. Do a little line of sight test with it. You can see I've got some drift. You know, I calibrated the accelerometer. Okay, let's just punch it. Let's stable it out here. 1, 2, 3. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's do this again. 1, 2, 3. Now let's just do some quick punches. I'll try to keep it steady here. I think I'm going to go into rate mode here. Yeah, rate mode's better. The accelerometer is off. Okay, so uh-oh. Let's just continue to fly it for a minute so we can get an idea how long our flight time is going to be. Of course, most of us won't be this exaggerated on the throttle. I don't think these motors are quite as good as the Furry Bee motors. Those were especially handsome motors. But this is doing fair. I mean, we've added somewhere around 4 grams to the quad between the canopy and the radio. Getting pretty high on the throttle now in order to keep it in the air. Yeah, that's full throttle now. We're just about done. Whoa. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
Now something to say, you should hear it. Oh, I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell ya, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, oh, oh, oh. And I ain't never gonna stop. Come on. Listen to me. I've tried so many times to tell you this is as good as I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hit of the party? Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell ya, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Never gonna stop. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't never gonna stop. No, no. Oh, I ain't never gonna stop. I ain't never gonna stop now, baby. Never gonna stop now, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 I ain't never gonna stop now, baby. Ooh. Never gonna stop now, baby.
My flight time, according to the timer that I set on the throttle, was 3 minutes and 34 seconds. It might vary a little bit from what you see on the screen. And I also did some additional testing with some other batteries. Specifically one, the MyLipo battery that is quite hot in this arena for the little hooped copters. And I found that the battery that they have at 200 mAh, it performs just about as good as MyLipo's. So that's a pretty good battery. It could fall off. You might see 10, 20 cycles and all of a sudden it falls off. We don't know that, so we get a lot more flights in these things. But to get you started, we've got a good set of motors, we've got good punch, good thrust, we've got a good camera, we've got a board that you can program. The flights that you saw on mine were in horizon mode, and I didn't change anything other than the self-leveling strength. And we've also got a pretty good performing battery. I don't think we can ask for a whole lot more. $63, I think, right now. Of course, that price goes up, that price goes down. And this rivals one that I built using parts and upgraded motors and different equipment. I spent $85 making something similar that flies about the same as this. And this is a lot easier. You know, you bind it up, you juice up your battery, and you go fly. I think it's a great value. I think it'll probably cut down on a lot of people's needs to buy kits that go together, because this is already set right here for us. It's dead simple. I really appreciate the fact that they used the connector, so if you smash up your camera, you can go out and buy another one and plug it right in. You don't even have any soldering to do there. I do wish they had shipped with some extra props in case you had some really horrific crashes, or if you wanted to chop down the props to where they have only 2 blades on each. Some are doing that for longer flight times. And speaking of flight times, if you're not getting 2.5 to 3 minutes on really anything like this, one, you've either got a camera that's way too heavy, so you're towing a lot of weight, or there's something else wrong. Maybe the motors are worn out, or you've got really poor motors. But in this case, I think if you're not getting 3-minute flight times, there's something else going on, like maybe you're not getting your battery charged up fully. It comes with this charger, and I generally don't use these. So if you want, this will get you going, but if you want to get the full performance, I'll link a charger down in the description below. It's a high-tech 4-port charger. NickburnsRC has one. It's been rebranded a number of times, but that will charge not only the batteries that we use for this vehicle, but batteries, other single-cell batteries, and it works great. It's reliable. You can adjust the rate at which it charges, and that might be one of the issues holding you back as far as getting the full potential of the flight time. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down in the section below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Share and subscribe if you think appropriate with other friends. Get them involved in this fun hobby. I think it's a great time, and I think Makerfire has made it a little bit easier for us. We don't have to go out and buy a $100 quad. We can buy one right here for 63 bucks. We can get a radio going that we can use across all sorts of different vehicles and get people started. So spread the word. All right, thanks for watching, everybody.